10 of the provincial departments, including provincial legislature, achieve either clean or unqualified audits with significant reductions in audit findings and legislative non-compliance. Number 5, the municipal finance management. Our municipalities have severe financial and governance challenges. Only 8 out of 23 municipalities submitted funded budgets for 2024. We are working closely with COGTA, SALGA, and the Auditor General to improve compliance and accountability. The growing trend of unauthorized and wasteful expenditure must be reversed, and MPECs must intensify their oversight. To support this, we are rolling out additional training and monitoring tools, including the unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. Number 6, provincial fiscal framework. Honorable members, our key priorities and provincial fiscal framework remains the same as presented by the Provincial Treasury on the 18th of March. Speaker, allow me to provide a quick recap of 2025 medium-term budget framework. In the 2025 period, the province estimates to spend more than 141.4 billion, which is allotted as follows: 45.8 billion in 2025-2026, 46.8 billion in 2026-2027, and 48.8 billion in 2027-2028. The 2025-26 allocation of 45.8 billion is constituted by equitable share, conditional grants, and provincial own revenue. Thus, the allocated equitable share amounts to 34.8 billion, which is an increase of 5.2% when compared to the last financial year allocation. The conditional grant received total of 9.8 billion, an increase of 0.9%. Lastly, the projected provincial revenue collection amounts to 1.2 billion. Number 7, the funded priorities. The Department of Education. Education is allocated 18.8 billion in 2025-2026 to implement sector priorities, which includes delivery and maintenance of school infrastructure. In other outer financial years, the budget allocated amounts to 19.6 billion in 2026-2027 and 20.4 billion in 2027-2028. The department will spend an estimated 59 billion on the MTF period ahead. The Department of Health. The Department of Health is allocated 14.1 billion in 2025-2026, 14.7 billion in 2026-2027, and 15.4 billion in 2027-2028. These allocations provide implementation of key sectors priorities, infrastructure investment, and related operational costs. The estimated spending over the MTF period amounts to 44.3 billion. The Department of Social Development. The Department of Social Development is allocated 1.3 billion in 2025-2026, 1.4 billion in 2026-27, and 1.4 billion in 27-28. Over the MTF period, the projected spending for the department is more than 4.2 billion. This budget funds key sector priorities, which includes infrastructure maintenance and the related operation costs. The Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation will receive a total of allocation of 666 million in 2025-2026, 686 million in 2026-2027, and 707 million in 2027-2028. Over the MTF department will spend an estimated amount of 2 billion funding. The Department of Public Works and Infrastructure is allocated 2.3 billion in 2025-2026, 2.3 billion in 2026-2027, and 2.4 billion in 2027-2028. Over the MTF, the department is expected to spend 7.1 billion. The Department of Community Safe, Roads and Transport has received the amount of 3.7 billion in 2025-2026, 3.2 billion in 2026-2027, and 3.3 billion in 2027-2028. In total, the department is estimated to spend 10.3 billion over the MTF period. The Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. The department will receive 883 million in 2025-2026, 911 million in 2026-2027, and 949 million in 2027-2028. Over the MTF period ahead, the projected spending totals to 2.7 billion. The Department of Human Settlement will receive 1.2 billion in 2025-2026, 1.1 billion in 2026-2027, and 1.2 billion in 2027-2028. Over the 2025 MTF period, the projected expenditure amounts to 3.7 billion, mainly dominated by conditional grants. The Department of Economic, Small Business Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, an amount of 705 million is allocated for 2025-2026, with 719 million and 743 million is allocated for 2026-2027 and 2027-2028 respectively. The estimated expenditure of the MTF period totals to 2.1 billion. Office of the Premier. The Office of the Premier received 633 million in 2025, 649 million in 2026-2027, and 658 million in 2027-2028. Over the MTF ahead, the expenditure is estimated at 1.9 billion. The Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs is allocated 447 million in 2025-2026, 463 million in 2026-2027, and 478 million in 2027-2028. Over the MTF period, the department is expected to spend more than 1.3 billion. The Provincial Treasury is allocated 384 million in 2025-2026, 399 million in 2026-2027, and 441 million in 2027-2028. In total, the Provincial Treasury is estimated to spend 1.1 billion over the MTF period. The Free State Legislature is allocated 317 million in 2025-2026, 339 million in 2026-2027, and 375 million in 2027-2028. In total, the legislature is supposed to spend about 1 billion over the MTF period. Conclusion. Honorable Speaker, the Free State Province stands ready to work with National Treasury, our departments, and our people to navigate this period with resolve, wisdom, and integrity. We will continue to prioritize investment in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and job creation, ensuring that no one is left behind. We assure this August House that the people's needs remain at the heart of our fiscal decisions, and we remain steadfastly guided by this principle. I hereby table the following documents before this August House for your consideration. 2025-2026 Free State Provincial Budget Speech, 2025-2026 Free State Provincial Appropriation Bill, and 2025-2026 Estimates of the Provincial Revenue and Estimates Free State. I thank you.
Thank you. What does the Honorable MEC propose?
That the report be served before the committee. Thank you.
The second reading debate on the appropriation bill be continued. Any discussion?
None.
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 Any objection?
None.
None.
The approved. The second reading debate on the appropriation bill shall now be continued. The Secretary, the Acting Secretary shall read motion 2.
That the second reading debate on the appropriation bill B4 of 2025 be continued. Vote 11, Agriculture and Rural Development.
The vote before the House is vote 11, Agriculture and Rural Development. The Honorable MEC, Mayor Rockman, may now address the House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to withdraw the budget vote speech of the Department of Agriculture tabled on the 11th of April and retable the same budget vote speech today, 29 May. The budget vote programs and indicative allocations remain the same. The baseline indicators set out in the strategic plan and APP for 25-26 remain unchanged, but we may amend them in the outer financial years. The department receives a budget allocations of 833.7 million in 25-26 financial year. Outer year funding for 26-7 and 2027-28 financial years may also still be subject to change. Our equitable share funding amounts to 833.297 million or 533.297 million and is allocated as follows: administration 223.6 million, sustainable resource use and management 41.4 million, agricultural producer support and development 113.8 million, veterinary services 53.6 million, research and development 47 million, agricultural economic services 14.5 million, agricultural education and training 25.2 million, and rural development 13.8 million. The infrastructure enhancement allocation amounts to 50.2 million, with 10 million for earmarked funds, particularly disaster management. Conditional grants amounts to 285.8 million. It comprises of CASP at 194.9 million, Ilima Letsema in the amount of 81.1 million, and land care at 9.7 million. There are two matters that I wish to draw the attention of the Honourable House to subsequent to the budget speech, and that is that the Kroonstad Provincial Vet Lab has received full SANASC accreditation to test for bovine brucellosis. It is a major achievement that has been welcomed also by organised agriculture and the broader Free State agriculture community. And we express our appreciation for the sterling leadership of Dr. Mojapelo and his team of dedicated professionals for realizing this achievement after 10 years. We are confident that work will continue relentlessly to restore the Bloemfontein Provincial Vet Lab to full accreditation as well. In addition, Glen College has reopened under new management and an academic recovery plan is being implemented. We appreciate the input of all political parties in the debate of 11 April, and we have taken cognizance of the input, the suggestions, and constructive criticism. We therefore retable the budget speech of the Department of Agriculture for the 25-26 financial year. Thank you.
Thank you. Since Vote 11, Agriculture and Rural Development remains unchanged, there shall be no debate. Any discussion?
None.
None. Approved. The Acting Secretary shall read motion 3.
That the second reading debate on the appropriation bill B4 of 2025 be continued. Vote 7, social development.
The vote before the House is vote 7, social development. The Honourable MEC Leato will now address the House.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Premier members of the Executive, and all members of the Legislature. Honourable Speaker, I want to confirm that the budget vote 7 of social development tabled on the 25th of April 2025 remains the same. There are no changes in that budget, and as the department, we have allocated the budget for the current financial year as follows. For program 1 is 358,657. Program 2, social welfare services, is allocated 263 million. Program 3, children and families, has been allocated 331 million. Program 4, restorative services, receives an allocation of 254 million. And Program 5, development and research, receives 165 million. Therefore, the budget tabled on the 25th remains the same. We will continue to serve the people of the Free State using available budget to maximize the impact of services to our people. Thank you.
When I said exactly what we have agreed about.
Thabo, Meko,
Services to our people. Thank you.
But charge 85,000 is speak.
Since vote 7, social development remains unchanged. There shall be no debate, any discussion, none objection, none approved. The actress shall read motion 4.
That the second reading debate on the appropriation bill B4 of 2025 be continued. Vote 1, Office of the Premier.
The vote before the House is vote 1, Premier. The Honourable Premier shall now address the House.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, apologies, I'm in transit. Speaker of the Provincial Legislature, members of the Executive, members of the Legislature, distinguished guests, Honourable Speaker, from the Department of the Premier, nothing has changed. And thanks very much for the presentation and the demo and the allocations. As you all complain that there's little that has been allocated for all of us, but we're promising the people of the Free State that will continue really with the partnership of the people of the Free State. We pledge with the little resources that we have been allocated to do more to bring visible changes to the lives of the people of the province. We spoke about the importance of unlocking our provincial potential to generate jobs and lift people out of poverty and bridge the gap of inequality. To that end, I'm pleased to announce that we were able to launch even ex-commits the people on our speaker as we started, even though we had to table today. And I'm really impressed about the manner in which the office has started looking at the resources, the little that we had, and the planning that they have in the office of the Speaker. On our Speaker, one thing that we must also understand that we are one government and we provide assistance where it is needed. During this Freedom Day, as we launch a project in with them, with the quality of working together with the resources that you have and trying to bring closer the GTM model. And these are the issues that we need to really introduce to our people and to our different municipalities so that we partner with the little resources that we have. As Karen indicated, nothing has changed. And therefore, then what was presented in the House during the budget order. And thank you very much. And this is the first experience and experience of
Thank you. Since vote 1, the Premier remains unchanged. There shall be no debate. Any discussion? None.
None.
Any objection? None. Approved. The acting secretary shall read motion 5.
That the second reading debate on the appropriation bill B4 of 2025 be continued. Vote 5, Health.
The vote before the House is vote 5, Health. The Honourable MEC Ndadema Khatsi may now address the House. Ndale Mathatsi.
Thank you, Munkele. Happy
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. My apologies. I was just trying to settle down after being in transit for a better part of the meeting. Just a minute, Speaker. Speaker, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, honorable members of the Legislature, EXCO members, esteemed guests, and the people of the Free State, I rise before the House today to reaffirm the Free State Department of Health will not be tabling a new budget following the retabling of the national budget by the Minister of Finance, Honorable Enoch Nkorongwane. Our department's budget, as presented on the 25th of April, under Budget Vote 5, remains the authoritative financial and operational blueprint for 2025-2026 financial year. Our APP strategic plan and performance targets remains unchanged. We remain fully committed to delivering on our mandates entrusted to us, guided by the Constitution, the National Healthcare Act, and the principles of universal healthcare coverage as outlined in the National Health Insurance Act. Honorable Speaker, allow me to remind the House of the key allocations in our budget, which totals 14.187 billion. Program 1 on administration is 406 million. District Health Services, 6.28 billion. EMS, 995.8 million. Provincial Hospital Services, 1.997 billion. Central Hospital Services, 3.386 billion. Health Sciences and Training, 322.5 million. Healthcare Support Services, 175.7 million. Health Facilities Management, 623.7 million. We once more reiterate that this budget, Honorable Speaker, is more than just figures on a page. It's a lifeline for our communities and investment in the well-being of every citizen of the Free State. Minister of Finance, in his national budget speech last week, made a critical announcement. An additional 20.8 billion over the medium term has been allocated nationally to address appointment of post-community service doctors, the procurement of essential goods and services, and the reduction of accruals across provinces. This is a step in the right direction, and I wish to assure this House and the people of the Free State that the Department of Health will continue to prioritize the appointment of unemployed healthcare professionals. We will leave no stone unturned in working with National Treasury. Honorable members, the challenges we face are stark. Our facilities are under pressure, facing infrastructure backlogs, shortages in essential equipment and medicine, inadequate emergency medical services in some areas, and the burden of increasing disease profile. Yet, despite these pressures, the department's focus remains steadfast on the following issues: expanding access to 24-hour clinics across the province, addressing social determinants of health in enhancing community outreach services, investing in maternal, child, and adolescent health services to reduce preventable deaths, prioritizing infrastructure maintenance, rolling out the digital patient record system, strengthening health information governance. And Honorable Speaker, we are acutely aware of the difficult trade-offs in the national budget, the decision around the VAT 15%. In closing, Honorable Speaker, the Free State Department of Health as presented remains unchanged. Our APP remains the same. We'll continue to engage with the National Department and Treasury, National Department of Health and Treasury to ensure that additional funding for doctors and other essential services are translated into essential tangible improvements on the ground. Together, let us build the healthcare system that is equitable, resilient, and responsive, because the health of our people is the foundation of our prosperity in our province. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Since vote 5, health remains unchanged, there shall be no debate. Any discussion? None. Any objection?
None. None, Speaker.
None.
Madam Baluda, saying none without fighting is still none.
I'm not fighting, Speaker.
Yes, you are fighting that gadget. Approved. The acting secretary shall read motion 6.
That the second reading debate on the appropriation bill B4 of 2025 be continued. Vote for Free State Provincial Treasury.
The vote before the House is vote for Free State Provincial Treasury. The Honorable MEC, Mr. Makume, may now address the House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the Premier, members of ESCO, members of Legislature, dignitaries present in this platform, DG and HODs. As we gather here today, I wish to reaffirm that priorities and funding allocations for the Free State Provincial Treasury remain unchanged from the departmental vote speech delivered on the 15th of April. The total budget allocation for the provincial treasury in the 2025-2026 financial year is 384 million, spread across critical programs that support financial discipline, economic sustainability, and accountability. We'll also be addressing financial governance, municipal finance management. We'll also be addressing issues of the sustainable resource management and the asset and liability management and administration. With those few words, I wish to affirm that the budget allocations, programs, and commitments made on the 15th of April will not be changed. Let us remain anchored by the wise words of the former President Thabo Mbeki. I quote, "Trying times need courage and resilience. Our strength as a people is not tested during the best of times." I hereby table the 2025-2026 budget vote for the Free State Provincial Treasury Department. Thank you.
Thank you. Since vote 4, Free State Provincial Treasury remains unchanged, there shall be no debate. Any discussion?
None, Speaker.
None. None, Speaker.
Any
And we are
objection?
not fighting.
None, Speaker.
None, Honorable Speaker.
Approved.
None.
Why do you come and say none when you say approved in that make? Honor members, this brings us to the end of business of the House today. The House are now adjourned until the 6th of June 2025, and the business of the House shall be the tabling of the following budget votes. Vote 6, Education. Vote 12, Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation. The House is adjourned.
Long live the chairperson.
Thank you, Speaker.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Speaker.
Bye.
Thank you.
Speaker. We love you, Tate Speaker.
Very much so.